YouTube, what's good? It's been a long time since we've seen you. It's been about 5 years. A lot has changed since then. There's been a lot of growth. I'm super excited about the expansion of Dappa Dans and our second location. We got a third one on the way, and I can't wait for you to meet the new shop. Come on and check it out.
Yo, got my homie Dappa Dan, #1 pick. Decision, God gave him the vision. Cuts with precision, find your way to the hills and chill with your boys. Get back with good people, come make some noise.
Yo, come chill with us at the shop. It's the Dappa Dan Show.
I've known of this guy for about 15 years, and I had never really met him. And it's this guy right here next to me. Freddie Gonzalez, Freddie the Jedi flat top barber. This dude does sick flat tops. It's probably about 3-4 years ago, you came into the original Dappa Dans, and we chopped it up for a little bit, and then I reached out to you because I had mentioned that I was wanting to open up another barbershop, and just talk a little bit about like that. Where did we go? It was we went to play some pool, and
we went to main event.
Main event, right? And we chopped it up and played a little bit of pool. And you opened up my mind to some things, and let's talk a little bit about that, man, and where we're at now, because you know you and I were the ones that really got this place going and got it off the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So tell YouTube a little bit about it, bro.
Well, you gave me a call and you said, "Hey, man, why don't you come out and meet up with me? You know, let's talk.
Right.
Let's shoot the crap a little bit and shoot some pool and have a few drinks and talk about doing some business together."
Exactly. Yeah.
And I said, that was great. Yeah, man, let's do it. And we met up, and man, we had a hell of a time. We interviewed each other, and
we did, right?
Yeah, man. The interview was supposed to be you interviewing me, and it turned out me interviewing you. And
why you gotta be like that? You didn't flip it on me.
Well,
maybe
a little bit.
But I was picking your brain.
And I was picking yours too.
And I wanted, because you've got 10 years more than experience than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I respect you tremendously, because what I feel that you've brought to this craft and to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you give a badass cut. You're super thorough when you cut hair, and your flat tops are untouchable. I don't think there's anybody that I know that can touch you when it comes to a flat top.
It's the art of it, man.
It's an art,
yeah,
right?
it's an art form.
This is Brandi Scott. She is the only female barber on the roster here at Dappa Dans, and we're super excited to have her. So why did you make the decision to leave the corporate end of the business?
Because to be honest with you, it was killing me. You know, at that point in time, I was doing 100 haircuts a week, and I felt like they were pushing me to push the client, and that was just not where I really wanted to be. I felt like for me to really be a part with my clients, I needed to focus more on them instead of pushing product to sell or making sure that they got their shampoos and just hitting numbers, right, you know. Absolutely. I felt like my clients were so much more to me than just a number in and out of the door. So
talk a little bit about the difference of being in a barbershop versus being in the corporate world.
Oh my gosh, it's so much better. It's so much more laid back. I can really, you know, relate to my clients more, not be forced to talk to them about what specific thing that the company I'm working for mandates me to talk about, right. You know? It was, I felt very lost before where I was, and moving on to, you know, more personalized barbershops, I feel like I can really make my service more personable to the client that's in my chair at that time, and they have become my family and my friends, and you know, that's important to me to see them that way and be seen as much more than just somebody who cuts their hair.
So everybody knows who this guy is. Well, you probably don't recognize him because he's done a little growing up since the past 5 years. In our first meet the shop, this dude had no facial hair. His arms have gotten a little bit bigger, and he's probably a little bit tanner. But so happy to have my boy, Teddy, the bougie barber. You're not bougie, bro.
A little bit.
No, you're not. Teddy and I work together on Fridays. And tell a little bit about like the chemistry that you and I have and how we feed off each other. We bust. If you guys don't understand, being a barber is a lot of things. It's being a barber. It's also being a good listener.
Very important.
We also are psychiatrists. We should
Therapist, yeah.
or therapists. We should charge for couch time, and we don't. And we're also entertainers, right?
Right, I agree with all that.
Because we bust on each other to keep the people that are waiting to get a haircut
Entertained.
entertained, so they're not bored, so that they hang out. Because there were times, share with them, there were times that how long was the wait to get a haircut from us?
Man, Saturdays used to be crazy. Saturdays was like Fridays and Saturdays, but Fridays 2-3 hour wait. You know, things have changed since we went to appointments, and
Things have changed.
a little more prompt to get in and get out. But
Right.
man, there was times that without the laughter and the cutting up in here, that I don't think people would have stuck around so long.
Exactly, dude. And what do we say? It's like, you pay for the entertainment, the haircut's free. And exactly, dude. And that's what it is, and that's what we bring, man. And that's why I always push, support the local businesses. Even if you don't come to Dappa Dan's, go to your local barbershop, man. Honestly, because you're supporting the mom and pop. That's extremely important for the community. And the barbershop, man, it's like a men's information center. Is where we come, we vent, we chill, we have a cold beer, you get an amazing haircut. And I don't think we don't treat our people like numbers. No, you know what I'm saying? I'm super excited to have my boy, TJ Benoit. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're gonna talk a little bit about how TJ and I met and how we got the ball rolling. And it was pretty much me chasing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like the cat mouse type thing.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. You had a couple of offers too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think deep down in your heart, you really wanted to be at Dappa Dan's, right?
I did, yes.
Right. So tell us a little bit about how did you get into barbering? Like, what was it?
Just going to the barbershop, friends that are barbers, hanging out. It seemed more of a, like you weren't really working, you were just kind of hanging out and getting paid to do it.
Exactly, that's exactly what I said.
So I was in a position where I needed to find a new career and went to barber school and haven't looked back since.
Real quick, tell everyone what is it that you did before barbering?
I was a truck driver for 12 years.
Really? Mm-hmm. Like local routes, all over the
Local routes, pretty much. It was probably the worst 12 years of my life.
Really?
Yeah,
And how's it been now since you've been a barber?
it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Every day's a new adventure.
It is a new adventure. It really is. From Baltimore, Maryland, or just right outside out of Baltimore, but it's Maryland. He's the newest barber on the Dappa Dan roster, and the dude brings some heat. My boy Pablo Santiago, what's up, baby?
What's going on, man?
You came into my other location.
Yes, sir.
You only been in Texas
At that time, like
a week or so,
something like that.
right? And you had passed the barbershop, right? Like you weren't.
I was actually on my way to a temp agency
Okay.
to get a job to hold me off. I went there, filled out the application. They wasn't very helpful. I mean, I found the job, but
Right.
long story short, I was on my way home, took a wrong turn, and I ran into you. More to the story, but for time's sake, that's pretty much it. I wasn't even going to go in the barbershop. Went to turn around in the shopping center. Then I seen the barbershop. All right, let me see what's going on in here. And I believe he wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Exactly. So I wasn't supposed to be there that day. I was running in and running out to get something. I believe I needed to be in Dallas. So I was not supposed to be there. And as I'm gathering my things, getting ready to walk out, this guy walks in. And tell them a little bit about like what I said and how we started chopping it up a little bit.
Well, pretty much it was, it was very welcoming. At first came in, I asked if there was any chairs available. He took me to the back, and first thing was like, man, I was just praying for God to send me a barber, because
That's right. I said that.
losing a couple barbers or something like that, right?
Right. As a matter of fact,
And I've been
though,
praying for a job.
Pat the Irish Barber, what's up, bro? It's crazy that we're barbers together now, isn't it? Yeah. And it's nuts because when you and I met back in 06, 06. You weighed like 500 pounds. Yeah, and you were working for
Rack Daddies.
Rack Daddies, and you were driving a truck, right?
After I left Rack Daddies, I started working for Coors.
For Coors, yeah, you were delivering.
Found out I was a diabetic. They took my CDL away, and I kind of just fell downhill after that.
Right. You got laid off at Coors. You were always coming up to the shop. You were hanging out with us. Not necessarily just needing a haircut, but you were like kind of like a shop fly, and just your background. You're fourth generation.
Fourth generation barber. My great grandma was a hairstylist. My granddad was a phenomenal hairstylist, and my mom was a hairstylist as well.
Right.
I took cosmetology in high school.
Oh, that's right.
It was a 2-year program.
So you were a cosmetology dropout? A beauty school dropout, right here, guys.
But it had perks. I was the only guy with 23 girls.
That had to be cool.
But we only had one instructor, and I didn't think we were learning anything. And like, I just didn't want to feel like I was going to embarrass my granddad, because my granddad was well-to-do here in the hills.
Right.
I decided to drop out, and
that was in high school.
Yep.
And you're 40 now.
I'm 40
So
now.
you went to barber school at 37?
39.
Or 38?
I was 39.
Oh, you were 39. So you did barber school
in less than a year.
In less than a year, which is freaking phenomenal.
I did it in 11 months.
In 11 months. Yeah. So my next barber, super special to me. It's because he's my son. It's crazy to say that my son works at Dappa Dan's. You know, I never thought in a million years that I was going to be a barber, much less my son follow in my footsteps. So it's, I got to say, it's pretty rewarding and badass when I look over and look to the right of me and I see my boy over there cutting up one of my customers, or just a customer in general. It's super rewarding. So tell everyone how we met.
I don't remember.
You don't?
No. You're supposed to tell me all that.
Well, we'll do that on a whole nother show. Tell everybody about YouTube, man, a little bit about like what made you become a barber. Like as a young boy, you were hanging out at the shop a lot, pushing the broom.
You took over the OG in 07.
07, yeah.
So when it was your weekend summers, I
paid you $10 a day?
$10 a day, and I thought that was a lot.
Wow.
I would just buy chips and Gatorade and stuff, so it didn't really matter. I didn't trying to buy a car or anything.
Literally a slave driver.
No, I was about, so I started when I was close to 11, when I would be at the shop all the time.
Right.
And even before I started barber school, I developed a respect for it, not just for the craft, but for the loyalty of your customers, because some of the customers that I've seen back then, I'm cutting some of them now.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you were a little boy then.
Yeah, and some of the people that I would see you working with, I'm working with them now.
You're working with them now, and that's
pretty cool.
That's super rewarding to see that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, you know, as a barber being in this industry, it's super neat when I meet a young man and I see him grow up to be a man, and that's what a lot of our customers have seen. They've seen you grow up, you know, in the barbershop, and that's really neat to see. So I have to say, working with my son has been a real treat and an honor, and I think it's rad. I love you. You're freaking awesome.
I know.
And you're my only boy out of 5. How many have 5 kids?
I think
5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5.
You're my only son, and it's freaking rad that we get to do this journey together.
I'm a Mexican barber.
Ooh, that's my jam.
baby.
Ooh, that's my jam. Cut!
Teddy the Barber.
That was good, Freddie. I like that.
That was good, Freddie.
Do that again.
Ooh, that's my
Teddy
jam.
Barber, Act 2.
That was good,
You
Teddy.
just ruined it, bro. I'm never gonna do it that good again. You're here cutting up my film,
I didn't
bro.
get it. I didn't.
That was good.
We don't need your scissors.
And action.
That's my jam. All right.